Edo State Governor Govunor Obaseki don impress the African leaders and policymakers for one private session of the African Heads of State and Human Capital Summit, wey happen for Tanzania Port City of Dar es Salaam between July 25 to 26, 2023, with over 1,200 delegates, including African leaders, policymakers, and other development stakeholders from over 30 African countries, and Edo State na the only subnational state wey dem invite. Governor Obaseki, wey be panelist for the summit, come talk for the team wey be from strategy to implementation in education, and say the government bold and strong institutional reform don improve learning, show effort to move fast, and keep the records wey dem don get for the state educational ecosystem for the past 6 years. And say over 380,000 students dey benefit from the state basic education sector transformation Edo Best program. And as a government, then they invest seriously to build the capacity of the people and make sure say them see transformation throughout the educational system and highly skilled graduates wey go fit compete for global workforce.
Edo State is one of 36 states in Nigeria and has had a tradition of learning and education. But unfortunately, we ran into some crisis, not as bad as the Somalian experience. But at some point, in 2016, we had over 30,000 young men and women who had crossed the Sahara as far as Libya, trying to cross into Europe. Anywhere else but home, they did not want to go to school. So we had to take very drastic action. And that was when I took over office as governor in 2016. So we did 4 things. First, we decided to build political consensus around the issues of education, because when we looked at the root causes of this mass migration, and then, it was education. The school systems had broken down. Kids didn't want to go to school anymore. So we had to decide, to build a consensus. So first, focus on the issue of revamping education. How do we improve access and quality? And which aspect of education? And for us, we decided we should focus on foundational learning. We put together workshops, organized groups, and came up with a strategy. The next thing we did was to look at the institutions. How do we build institutional capacity for this reform or transformation? Fortunately, we were able to muster the political courage, and I posted out every staff that worked in the agency responsible for basic education. So we cleaned stable, because we had to get them to learn all over again how to do things the way we wanted them to. We then decided to look for the change drivers. I fortunately found one of my biggest critics at that time, Dr. Joan Oviawe, out of the States, and said, come home, come and help me drive this change. And thank God she took on the challenge and agreed to come and work with me, and she's now my commissioner for education. So the first point is political consensus. Get in the direction you want to go, focusing on the institutions responsible, trying to make sure you get a committed change agent, and then did the real heavy lifting, which was building the capacity of the teachers and education administrators. We had about 16,000 teachers, and we then were faced with the problem of how do you get these teachers retrained without running into trouble with the unions. We started with a first group of volunteers. I would say, look, this, it's not compulsory. It's only those of you who want to be trained in this new digital form of learning that should volunteer. We had the first 2,000 volunteers, and after the 2 weeks training, they were so excited, it was electric. And at the end of the training, the 2,000 initial, trained teachers became as proselytes. They were the ones who then, tried to convince the other, 13,000 or so of the need for the change. In fact, they started referring to themselves as digital teachers and started mocking the analog teachers. That then encouraged us to get full training for the rest of our teachers a few years down the line. and helped us not get into trouble with the unions. The last thing we did was focusing on technology and getting a solution which offered us learning in a box. So we were not prepared to go into the semantics and the detail, the arguments educationists go through about, what type of learning. We found a solution where the pedagogy, the curriculum, the tools for motivating children had already been built. And we just adapted it, trained our teachers in it, and then rolled out en masse. And 7 years after, I can tell you that in terms of the assessments we've done, in terms of numeracy skills, our kids in our school system today, almost 300,000 of them rank as well as about 60 to 70% of their peers in Europe, ditto in terms of reading skills.
We know the challenges are great, but the evidence is there on what to do and how to do it, and I encourage everybody to go outside and pick up the global evidence, the Global Education Evidence Advisory Panel's Best Buys approach. I think that will be very useful for us to remind ourselves of what we can do. Second, the importance of the adequate financing to ensure services are worthy of the students we serve. And finally, this agenda is predicated on leadership, and we have great examples here of leadership and how can leadership make a big difference in the lives of the next generation of African children.
Awe Ruswagene Ejo, TMC TV News.